Hey everybody, Sean from Media Assault here, and as the result of a snow day today, didn't have work to go to, so I stayed home and watched a movie. And that movie was Splice with Adrien Brody, Sarah Polley, and Delphine Chenac. I'm probably mispronouncing that. My French is terrible. This was a movie that came out in 2010, although it was made in 2009. It was released in June of 2010. Came out on Blu-ray and DVD in October of 2010, and I picked it up maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and just got around to watching it tonight. And this was a movie I was interested in mainly because it's a science fiction horror film, and from what I heard about it, it's sort of a modern day Frankenstein type story. And in fact, and I didn't realize this until I watched the film, the two main characters, Clive and Elsa, are actually references to the Bride of Frankenstein, Colin Clive and Elsa Lanchester, two actors from that movie. So I thought that was kind of cool. At least it tipped its hat to where it came from. This tells the story of two scientists, Clive and Elsa, played by Adrien Brody and Sarah Polley, who are working for a pharmaceutical company, and they are splicing different types of DNA from different animals together, and they create these two completely original life forms that they call Fred and Ginger. And they look like these big blobs, these pink blobs that kind of creep around like caterpillars. Is kind of creepy. But on the, sort of a side project, just to see what would happen, they decide to create a similar type of life form but include human DNA. It kind of comes out looking sort of like a baby, a cross between a baby human and a kangaroo and something out of a cartoon, but it grows at a very accelerated rate. And after some ethical misgivings, I'm not really sure what to do with it, they decide to let it live because they figure it won't live very long because it grows at such an accelerated rate. And I won't spoil the rest of the story, but there are a lot of ethical questions that this movie poses, sort of about what it really is to be human. And like I said, it is sort of a retelling of the Frankenstein story, although with a much more modern twist, because of course you've got all these genetic issues and cloning and stem cell research type things, sort of added to the what is it to be God basically, and create a completely new life form where you have no expectations of what this thing can do or what it's going to be like or whatever. The movie is more thought-provoking than it is good. When I was done watching it, I really wanted to know more about the creature they had created. There are some scenes where they're kind of trying to figure out how smart it is, and it learns kind of quickly. But I wanted to know more about this completely fictional life form that they created. I was just interested in it, and they really don't do anything with that particular creature. I mean, obviously we see some of its development and some of how it learns and what it thinks, but I wanted more of that. There just seemed to be sort of a contrived relationship between Clive and Elsa's character that, I don't know, the focus of the film could have been more on the creature than them. I don't know, it just seemed kind of unfocused for me. Although I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, I just probably would have enjoyed it more had it been a little more varied with the content of the story, I guess. Adrien Brody's acting is really good. Sarah Polley, who you may know from the remake of Dawn of the Dead, is really good. And the story is good. It's just, I don't know, I thought they could have done more with it. And so all I can say is it makes you think a lot about, what the human race is capable of currently with genetic research and DNA tampering and all the different things that we're doing in labs, these days. But, could this happen, or could something like this happen? Has something like this happened in secret, sort of like in this movie? Obviously not to the extent that this movie has gone to. or maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. But that's the thing about this movie. You think more about what could have happened than what did happen in the film. And I think that's probably the movie's biggest flaw, that it doesn't create enough of a story of its own so you can think about the movie. It just gets you to think about what could be in real life, which is cool on its own. So, would I recommend Splice? Yes. I think it's decent enough to see. If you're a science fiction fan, definitely. If you're a horror fan, there's probably some things here that you might enjoy as well, although it's strictly not a horror film per se. It is more of a science fiction thriller type thing, but horror fans might like it too. The Blu-ray does not have a lot of features. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even list on the back what they are. It just has a thing about a director's playground. Vincenzo Natali, who is the director, on the set of Splice. And that's really it. Yeah. Doesn't really talk about anything else that it has, and I didn't watch any of the other special features, so there you go. And this is the Blu-ray DVD digital copy pack that I picked up. So if I had to give it a rating, I would give it, I'd probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. Which is better than average. 5 would be average for me. So it's better than average, but it's still not quite in the excellent category. So there you go. Splice on Blu-ray, and sort of a bonus review thanks to the weather. One other thing that I did want to add to the review, it's less than 24 hours since Japan was hit by an earthquake and a subsequent tsunami. So I just want to let everybody know out there that my thoughts are with the people of Japan right now. A lot of bad stuff going on, not only with just the earthquake and the damage from that, and the tsunami and the damage from that, but apparently there's some bad stuff happening with some nuclear reactors over there. So I really hope everything turns out okay. And my thoughts and prayers are out there for the people of Japan. So I hope everything turns out all right. Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. As always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And we'll catch you later for the next review. Thanks.